Hello and welcome. Incredible hitting last night from Vibhav Suryawanshi, which has totally taken the cricket media by storm. In that sense, that one hit has now become the subject of talking points. But more importantly, he is clearly ready for wearing India colours. That's something that is a big takeaway from this IPL. But tonight's game, Delhi Capitals will want to continue to win at home. They've done well. Samir Rizvi has been the star for the Delhi Capitals so far. And it is great to see that somebody who was bought by the Chennai Super Kings for about 8 crores wasn't able to deliver for them, then gets picked up by the Delhi Capitals for 95 lakhs, and then starts to deliver regularly for the Delhi Capitals. So it's the story of a domestic player making the IPL count. So the Samir Rizvi story is the other story that is coming out of the IPL, and that is something that will be in focus as the Delhi Capitals take on the Gujarat Titans. Sai Sudarshan did a press conference. Shubman Gill and Sai Sudarshan will want to get back to winning ways for the Gujarat Titans. They are a good side. They're a good side. I mean, the last game against the Rajasthan Royals was close. We saw what happened in the last over when Tushar Deshpande bowled a phenomenal over. So the IPL has kind of taken off. But I would want to focus on something different today. Yesterday I hosted this program organized by the Cricket Association of Bengal. And I'll tell you some things that we discussed, which we may not have played, as part of the recordings that we have played or part of the news points that we have already played on the platform. Now, first things first, it was a well organized program by the Cricket Association of Bengal. It was the launch of the third edition of the Bengal Pro T20 League. The third edition of the Bengal Pro T20 League. And the good part about the Bengal Pro T20 League is when it started in season one, it started for both men and women together. So that's something that stood out as far as I'm concerned for the Bengal Pro T20 League, that both the men and women's tournaments were started at the same time by Snehashish Ganguly and the Cricket Association of Bengal. This time it's the third season. CAB added a team. Now, when you add a team in its third year, clearly the tournament is not yet profitable. Saurav Ganguly made that point as well. But when you add a team in its third year, it tells the investors, the existing franchise owners, that there is interest among forthcoming investors. There's investor. It helps in investor confidence, and it's a team that is called the Novus Purulia side, owned by Angshuman Ghosh, Bandhan Bank, Chandrasekhar Ghosh and Angshuman Ghosh. So it's real pedigree. And what I was also told as I was coming out of the JW Marriott Hotel after the program. I met a few people who said they were there to watch that program because they too want to invest in the league. Now that I found extremely exciting. Clearly, there are takers for the league. So that's something that is interesting. In the program, there was a talk show which involved Ajinkya Rahane, Mohammad Shami, Rinku Singh, Jhulan Goswami, and Saurav Ganguly. Now, this is what brings me to today's show. Mohammad Shami, first things first, Mohammad Shami was slightly late than the others, and when the others were already on stage. The others were already on stage when I called on Mohammad Shami to come and join us. Believe me, he looked lean, absolutely no fat, absolutely no nothing. So Saurav Ganguly, in fact, made this point that I thought I'll tell Mohammad Shami to reduce a little bit, but there is nothing that he has to reduce. Shami looked lean and fit and hungry. I said that. He said, the knees are a different issue, but brilliant. I mean, the way he has maintained himself, the way he looked yesterday, it was excellent to see as far as Mohammad Shami is concerned. Now, I asked Shami what explains, because here's one cricketer who is out of favor, with the national selectors, has not been part of the team. We have all written about it. Mohammad Shami bowled beautifully in the Ranji Trophy, 37 wickets for Bengal in 7 games, 8 wickets in the semi-final that Bengal lost to Jammu and Kashmir, 8 for 90 odd. So Mohammad Shami has had a tremendous domestic season, tremendous season. Secondly, Mohammad Shami, the way he has bowled, not just in the Ranji Trophy, but he has played every single game. He has played every single game, whether it is Syed Mushtaq, whether it is any other form of domestic cricket. So that tells you that this guy is absolutely focused on making his domestic stint count. Now I asked him that he's played for India for 10, 15, 12, 13 years with distinction. Mota people can understand, right? That Darwaza Band, national team perhaps is not happening. The selectors have perhaps moved on. I don't agree with that, but the selectors have maybe moved on from Mohammad Shami. So somebody with this level of expertise, somebody with this level of quality, for Mohammad Shami to continue in the manner that he has is quite outstanding. I asked him that. I asked him about the inspiration and the hunger. And it is one thing that you see, on screen, but one thing when you're actually talking to a guy and you're kind of observing his body language, you're kind of observing how the chap reacts to a particular question. What is the kind of talk off camera when things are said which is not always politically correct and stuff. Mohammad Shami looked hugely determined. He spoke about his background. He said about the fact that he's come from a background which is humble, underprivileged, from the village, and he kept emphasizing the fact that it is all about hard work. It is all about hard work, determination, and hunger. And he kept saying to me that भूख अभी भी है, भूख अभी भी है, and he mentioned the point that for as long as he can, he wants to play Ranji Trophy. He did not say he wants to play the IPL. That is something that every cricketer should take away from that Mohammad Shami interaction. He did not say, he did not single out the IPL. He said for as long as he can, he wants to play the Ranji Trophy. And it was extremely inspiring to see Mohammad Shami and have that conversation. Now, all of us have seen what he can do. All of us have seen how good he is. All of us have seen his bowling effort against the Sunrisers of Hyderabad. 4 overs for 9 runs, 18 dot balls, getting the wicket of Abhishek Sharma, getting the wicket of Travis Head. To be able to do 4 overs for 9 runs against a batting attack that has Head, Sharma, Ishan Kishan, and Henrik Klassen is absolutely phenomenal. But, but for me, what stood out in Mohammad Shami was the level of commitment that I saw on view yesterday. Does he also kind of sounded philosophical to me, kind of sounded philosophical to me that maybe there is an inner peace, maybe there is an inner reconciliation with the fact that maybe he will not play for the national team anymore. Did I sense a kind of resigned acceptance? Did I sense a kind of combativeness? I don't know. But what I did see in Mohammad Shami was this deep desire to continue to play the game that has made Mohammad Shami Mohammad Shami. And that is incredible for any fast bowler to see. He's not a spinner. He's not a batter. He's a fast bowler. It takes additional effort to continue to bowl fast day in, day out after having accomplished what you have, to have that inspiration to carry on and play domestic cricket. It takes a hell of a lot out of you. And that is what Mohammad Shami has been able to do quite fantastically. I don't know whether he will be picked for India. Chances are he may not be. People will say that Mohammad Shami perhaps will not be picked for India again. But what can definitely be said, you know, what I absolutely think is, and this Saurav Ganguly said on stage, Ganguly was a huge supporter of Mohammad Shami. He said he still thinks he has 2 seasons left. He says the kind of effort he has seen from Mohammad Shami, he says the kind of commitment he has seen. He wants to see Bumrah bowling at one end and Mohammad Shami from the other. Ganguly may not be wrong. You know, for India, you have a Mohammad Siraj. You know, for India, obviously, there is a Jasprit Bumrah. Prasidh Krishna played in some of the matches in the United Kingdom. But when India tours New Zealand on green decks, where the ball will do a bit, is there a scope for Mohammad Shami to make a comeback? Is there something that Saurav Ganguly was alluding to, that he wants to see Mohammad Shami make a comeback? Can there be another new lease of life? Can there be the last flicker? Can there be a last dance? These are things that one needs to think, because the guy clearly is in zone. I mean, amount of cricket that he has played, amount of cricket in red ball, in white ball, shorter format, shortest format, Ranji Trophy cricket is unbelievable. So if he has been able to do that, why is it that we will say that doors are closed? It is one WTC cycle. Does Mohammad Shami still have that to do the job, say, for example, against New Zealand and against Australia when the Australians come to India? I understand when the Australians come to India, it will possibly be Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj, but can Bumrah last out 5 games? Will Bumrah ever play a 5 test match series? Can he? Will Mohammad Siraj be able to last out 5 games? He has the fitness, but who is the second bowler? Does that make Mohammad Shami relevant? Against New Zealand, can we say Bumrah, Siraj, and Shami should be our first choice attack for our big test series, at least in this cycle of the WTC? Can that happen? Will the selectors not look at Ranji performances? Will the selectors not look at domestic performances? And Saurav Ganguly was very, very vocal. I have to say this. Saurav Ganguly was very vocal about the fact that Mohammad Shami has the ability, at least till uh, you know for some time for sure. Saurav Ganguly was very vocal that at least for another season or two, Mohammad Shami can certainly don India colours. My own position on this is there is no reason why the door will be considered closed. We saw Shardul Thakur make a comeback. We saw Shardul Thakur play a couple of test matches in the United Kingdom. We saw Shardul Thakur, after people had written off. You remember Ajit Agarkar's comment ahead of the Border Gavaskar Trophy that the selectors had moved on. But thereafter, against England, Shardul Thakur did manage to open the door with strong domestic performances. And obviously also thereafter had a good IPL, played for Lucknow Super Giants last year. So if Shardul can, if domestic performances are key, there is no reason for us to believe, or for that matter, Shami to believe, that the gates have been shut forever. That's something that I absolutely think one must acknowledge, recognize, and accept. Let me take Shongbit says Bumrah, Siraj, and Shami should be our first choice pace attack in a big test series. I kind of agree with him. Bumrah, Siraj, and Shami, especially in New Zealand, in conditions that should be helpful, I think can well be India's choice pace bowling attack, at least in the first test match. Will the selectors go down that route? We don't know. But again, if for us, the index should only be performance and performance. It is not age, it is not anything else, because sport is not played by age. And sports science has at least added 2-3 years to a player's career. Suman Avasthi, Boryada, why not some noise for Bhuvi comeback? He's looking very fit and bowling really well. Very useful, especially in New Zealand. He absolutely can. Absolutely can, but it will also depend on domestic cricket, not just IPL. So, compared to Mohammad Shami, has Bhuvaneshwar Kumar given us enough to be able to say that, like Shami, continuous cricket and in form, taking that many number of wickets, has Bhuvaneshwar Kumar been able to do that? But I am totally of the view, Suman, so I agree in essence that it is not about age, It is not about that, oh, somebody has been discarded, because Bhuvaneshwar Kumar still has the ability to move the ball. And in New Zealand, someone like Shami who will hold the seam like that will be very handy. Sam, Mukesh Kumar, Navdeep Saini, they all vanished. Mukesh Kumar suddenly, the good question, very good question. Mukesh Kumar suddenly has kind of become this white ball bowler. I don't know why and how. I absolutely don't know why and how Mukesh Kumar has become a white ball bowler. He came into the scene as a perfect red ball bowler. He came into the scene as kind of option, for Shami, or similarly with a great seam position, getting the ball to move. Think about the South Africa series, and all of a sudden, when you now see him play for Delhi Capitals, he will do so tonight. And in the he has become, and by the way, he bowled very, very well in the first two games. But all of a sudden, you kind of see that Mukesh Kumar being typecast as a white ball bowler. That I absolutely don't know why. Sam Natarajan will not play it. No, Natarajan I can understand is a white ball bowler, played in Australia because there were many injuries. But as far as Mukesh is concerned, Mukesh arrived, on the scene when he emerged. It was red ball cricket that was considered his forte. That's how Mukesh came into the scene. So I mean, when did this happen? He's still for Bengal. He plays regular Ranji Trophy cricket, is a good enough bowler. Can be when you are playing in conditions like New Zealand, conditions like England. There is no reason why Mukesh Kumar cannot stage a comeback. I mean, I last met him on a flight back, I remember, and from Hyderabad. And Bengal was coming back after a domestic performance, and he looked strong to me. I had a chat on the flight. We were sitting next to each other, and Mukesh Kumar is a good enough bowler to continue to play red ball cricket for India. So the point here is the Mohammad Shami story. Gaurav, there are two other young fast bowlers SRH have picked, Omkar and Praful. Both are tall, can bowl 140. Boria sir, your thoughts? Look, the IPL, why we only saying X or Y? Ashok Sharma, for example, 154 kilometers the other day, and I was watching him bowl. Prince Yadav, again, somebody who's bowling 145, that delivery to Aksar Patel and the other day to Ishan Kishan. Excellent. So I can see it's no longer restricted to one Umran Malik. I can see a Prince Yadav. You are talking about Praful. You are talking about Omkar. We can talk about Ashok Sharma. There are many all of a sudden who are bowling at a 140, 45, 50 kind of speed. But this is, I was talking about Shami not just for white ball. I was talking about the macro picture. So for any bowler who is bowling at 140, 145, just to burst into the national scene may not be yet ready. So that's something that we have to take into consideration. So coming back to close out the Mohammad Shami point, why Mayank Yadav is not playing. Mayank Yadav is fit. I had a chat with the Lucknow people, and from what I understand, all of their bowlers, whether it is Avesh, whether it is Mayank, whether it is Mohsin, whether it is Prince, whether it is anybody, obviously Shami, each one of them is available for selection. So unlike last year, where Lucknow Super Giants struggled with injuries and half their bowlers, in fact, three of them, Avesh Khan, Mohsin Khan, and Mayank Yadav, each one of them, had to be operated upon and had to undergo surgery. This time round, the Lucknow Super Giants are in a good position where all of their bowlers are fit, and tomorrow, that's going to be a major factor. Could decide the game, because it's a fit side versus a number of injuries for KKR. By the way, weather tomorrow, again there is chance of rain till Friday. The weather forecast for this part of the world, for Bengal, because of a low pressure trough, there is chance of thunder showers. Today it is in the North Bengal side, more North Bengal, in Darjeeling, in Kalimpong, those areas. But tomorrow there is a chance of a thunder shower, a squall, 30, 40 kilometer per hour rain and wind, wind speed, and there could be another nor'wester. So today, when I woke up in the morning around 5 o'clock, one could feel it was beautiful. It's not the summer that we expect so far, at least, and it was quite pleasant. Yes, as the day progressed, I'd actually taken my daughter to the Indian Museum, and It is warm. It is warm outside, but not the usual Kolkata summer. So tomorrow the weather prediction again is for a possible thunder shower. So there could be rain. There could be rain. So brace yourself, much like yesterday in Guwahati. It's the same low pressure belt that is stretching, which is impacting games in Guwahati and of course in Calcutta. So that's my Mohammad Shami take. Let me quickly make two other points. One, Bangladesh Cricket Board, now it is Tamim Iqbal. Now, this was well and truly predicted. If anybody understands Bangladesh politics, the day Tariq Rahman got elected, that very day, Aminul Islam Bulbul's days were numbered. Soon after a new sports minister was appointed, his thing was, he has to mend bridges with India. Thereafter, IPL telecast resumed in Bangladesh. Tamim is the closest to this political party, so it was inevitable that they will remove all of the others, including Aminul Islam Bulbul, who now it is being considered could well be under the scanner because of the ultra hardline radical stance against India, which cost Bangladesh a place in the World Cup. They should have played. And that's why I kind of believe that when you kind of radicalize a stand, when you take a hardline political stance which is not in sync, you eventually tend to pay the price. I mean, people will say that how come Aminul Islam Bulbul could do something when Asif Nazrul and the entire how come anybody could do anything, right? Anybody could do anything when the entire political establishment has a hard line, but that's what it is. There is reason why the international charter, for example, whether it's the IOC, whether it's the ICC, they push back against direct political interference. So the Bangladesh story, by the way, I've spoken to three people in Bangladesh today, all in the know. Two former cricketers, one senior administrators. All of them tell me there will be a strong push for resumption of cricket ties with India. Bangladesh Cricket Board is very, very eager and confident now with the change of guard that India too will look at Bangladesh much more favorably, much more positively. So there could be a resumption of Bangladesh-India cricket ties on the anvil. August, September last year, the series was pushed back by a year. You can see India versus Bangladesh, not just in men, but also in women happen. Because Tamim Iqbal will, as a cricketer, has had good connections with India, been a part of even the IPL setup. Tamim Iqbal, distinguished cricketer, will know what to do, will understand the interests of the BCB, unlike somebody like an Asif Nazrul who had no basis, no locus standi. He was complete nonsense. So he was politicizing the whole affair and then taking a 360-degree radical turn and talking utter garbage. So unlike someone like that, one expects a Tamim Iqbal to genuinely push for the resumption of India versus Bangladesh cricket ties. And as I said, I've spoken to two former cricketers who played with Tamim and one very senior administrator who is on his way to Australia. He was in KL, and all of them tell me there will be a strong pitch. There will be a strong pitch for the resumption of cricket ties between Bangladesh and India, and one can expect something to actually happen. Let me take a few more questions. Shongbit, can Tamim finally make Bangladesh cricket better, bring it back to the standards or what they had? Mustafiz, Tamim, Shakib, Mashrafi, Mushfiq, absolutely he can. And that's why I think it's a good move to eliminate rubbish like Asif Nazrul and get sense back. I hope Tamim will be able to do that. Your take on Sandeep Sharma? Perfect IPL player, unfortunately could not make it to the international level, but distinguished IPL career from 50 lakhs to be able to win your team matches, to have the confidence of the captain to bowl 3 overs when you have bowlers of the quality of Jofra Archer or Nandre Berger, shows the ability of the man, the kind of confidence people have in him. Even a couple of seasons back when he nailed those Yorkers against Mohammad Shami, one has to feel good about Sandeep Sharma. Absolutely feel good about Sandeep Sharma. Good question, Sam, that you asked this. Gaurav, I think Tushar Deshpande can be used in red ball cricket, needs some game time. I agree. But he's not really in the reckoning yet. But Yes, has been around for a while now and bowled well, showed a lot of heart. But is he ready for red ball cricket? We have to see. But Prasidh has made a mark in the domestic level, even in the Ranji Trophy final. 5 wickets for Prasidh Krishna. If you remember against JNK, I absolutely think Akib Nabi will make the Indian team. During New Zealand, Akib Nabi gets the ball to move. The 135 kind of speed from Akib Nabi should be good enough in New Zealand conditions. Has had a reasonably good domestic season for Jammu and Kashmir, was their star. So I do think Akib Nabi will be the first candidate from the domestic setup who will now make the red ball cut, because he's played with distinction in a season for the Jammu and Kashmir side. So yes, what about Prasid? What should Prasid Krishna's only thing that he needs to do is consistency. The man has everything in the book: the short ball, hit the deck, pace, Yorker, movement. If you think of England, he was getting the ball to move away. The outswing was very much in evidence. Prasid Krishna has every kind of ball in his repertoire. All he needs to do is be a little consistent. That is all. Khalil not developed. This is a good one, Shambit. I mean, when I see Khalil Ahmed bowl, I ask to myself, this guy has everything. He's a left arm. India desperately needs a left arm. Arshdeep Singh is obviously there. But a left arm fast bowler is so important for any team. And you hit the nail on the head, Shambit. Why would Khalil not be there in the reckoning? I mean, the guy has pace. He has the ability to move the ball. He has the angle. Absolutely a fair point that he should certainly make a pitch. And in that interview with me, when was it? It was last year, I think, after the domestic season, 5 6 months back, when I spoke to Khalil, and in that interview to me, he repeatedly emphasized his red ball ambitions. So he wants to play the long form. The guys wanting to make a difference in long form cricket. So very pertinent question that as a left arm fast bowler, why not Khalil? So good point, very good point. Vaibhav seriously makes take for 100 in opener spot. Vaibhav will play for India. Vaibhav will play for India in the shorter format. Look, there is a little bit of time. There's a little bit of time as far as T20 is concerned, because the World Cup just got done. As far as 50 over cricket, there is also the if you see that 50 over lineup, there is a Shubman Gill, there is a Yashasvi Jaiswal. Obviously, there is the Rohit Sharma Virat Kohli factor. So I think Vaibhav in the 50 over format true wicket will have to wait. But as far as T20 cricket is concerned, I would be very keen to take Vibhav Suryawanshi to Ireland in June. Give him a go in Ireland, because at this point in time, T20 is not the format of choice. 50 overs will be with the World Cup next year, with the T20 just done. Give him a go. Give him a go at the Asian Games. Give him a go against the West Indies. Because look, the West Indies series and the Asian Games will clash. And India will have to send a good team to the Asian Games, because multi-discipline games, you will be able to now start thinking and building towards the LA Olympics. So if you keep that in mind, there is absolutely no reason why Vaibhav Suryavanshi will not make the cut for that Ireland series, not make the cut for the Zimbabwe series, and also not make the cut for the England series. So Ireland is what, 26, 28? England starts on the first in Durham, then in Manchester, then I think is Southampton, Bristol, Birmingham, something like that. So yeah, something like that. So 5 T20s there, 2 in Ireland, and again a couple of T20s thereafter in Zimbabwe. India has enough or more T20s to play. Give the guy a go. Think he's ready? 50 overs, not yet, but definitely in the 20 over format. Absolutely fair point. Satwik, India should not play Bangladesh and Pakistan in bilateral, should play emerging teams like Italy, Nepal, US. It doesn't happen like that. These are test playing nations. They are part of the WTC cycle also. So it doesn't happen like that. Bilateral Pakistan, obviously not, but why not Bangladesh? Bangladesh was a temporary issue because of politics. If the political situation gets resolved, there is absolutely no reason for India not to play Bangladesh in bilateral. Then if the Bangladesh government has changed, they want to want to extend an olive branch. These political configurations in South Asia, very critical. Also for India, you don't want a hostile border or a hostile neighbor in your east. You already have Pakistan to deal with, so there's no reason why India wouldn't. And you also have to, Italy, or for that matter, Nepal or USA, they're not test playing nations. So we cannot just say that, oh, India has to play these countries or should play these countries and not against the neighbors. That doesn't happen like that. Gurjanpreet Singh, yes, Gurjanpreet Singh, absolutely, again, somebody who one should keep an eye on. These bowlers, a lot of these bowlers, I would want them to come through the ranks, play India A, play emerging trophy tournaments, because there is a lot of cricket left, and I would want to see at least, say, against Ireland, they get Zimbabwe. A lot of these players get an opportunity. That's why I said absolutely take Vibhav Suryawanshi to Ireland. He's ready. Give him a go. Small grounds, he'll smack the bowlers. The guy has incredible shots. Somebody who can hit Jasprit Bumrah like that yesterday clearly has incredible ability. Incredible ability. He's built temperament. Yesterday when he got out, you realized that the dismissal, the way he reacted to that dismissal, he wanted to be out there and played a bigger innings. Tremendous stuff. Absolutely tremendous stuff. Can we groom Rian Parag? Good point. Good point. The guy has every shot in the book, has the off spin, is a genuinely good fielder. Very, very good point again. Who asked the? Gaurav. Yes, Gaurav, good point. That Rian Parag, in fact, I at one point in time thought Rian would break into the Indian team, would make it his own, got his opportunity. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to really kind of cut there. But Rian Parag, definite quality, definite quality. Jaiswal, Sam, I in a show I did yesterday, I think, yesterday, right? Yeah. Jaiswal is a gun player. Unfortunately, because he's already a bona fide red ball success. He's had hundreds in different parts of the world, Australia, England, and other parts of the world. We kind of tend to now identify Jaiswal with red ball and 50 over cricket. But look at the way he has batted, not just yesterday, but even in the last match for the Rajasthan Royals. He motored away. He motored away 30 ball 50, 25 ball 50. Jaiswal is top notch. That is why when you see whether a Jaiswal, a Priyan Sharia, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, and you are like, wow, boy, Sai Sudarshan, the kind of wealth India has is no kidding. Is no kidding. I mean, this white ball depth, the only openers, if you just take your opening options, yesterday I said on a show, there are 10 opening options for India who can walk into any international side today and start playing for these international teams. They are that good. They are that good. And Ishan Kishan can open, Sanju Samson can open, Abhishek Sharma can open, Ayush Matre can open, Rishabh Pant can open, Priyan Sharia can open, Prabsimran Singh can open, Yashashvi Jaiswal obviously can open, Vaibhav Suryavanshi can open. So here comes your 9, 10. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Even Ishan can open. It's just, and you're not even talking about Virat Rohit because you don't need to, they've retired. The kind of riches India has in white ball cricket, boy oh boy, Devdutt Padikkal can also open. Virat Kohli is playing there, that's why he's not opening, but otherwise Devdutt Padikkal can also open. What's going wrong with Abhishek Sharma? Confidence looks shaky, he'll come back. Sanju Samson hasn't scored in 3 games, doesn't really mean Sanju Samson will confidence shaken or anything. Give time. It happens with every player. Everybody is entitled to having a bit of a lean patch. Yes, you can say Abhishek's lean patch has continued for a bit now. Starting with the World Cup, it's continuing. But in that second game, he did score good runs in Calcutta. And I'm pretty much sure he'll come back. More than Parag, Rajat Patidar. Absolutely. Who's this? Who's this? Tom. Rajat Patidar, definitely. The way he has batted for his team, the way he has led, and despite being captain, tells you a lot about the guy's ability to soak in pressure, temperament, and more. So Rajat Patidar in the middle order in white ball cricket is a definite contender. That spot, the Shreyas Iyer spot, the Rajat Patidar spot, the Tilak Verma spot, the Surya Kumar Yadav spot. Look at the kind of competition that there is in the Indian side. Unbelievable. The talent overall in Indian white ball cricket is less too. I mean, it's just phenomenal. I don't see that in red ball, but I do see that unbelievable talent in white ball. Time for me to close this particular show. Only SRH and PBS can. Yes, I agree. Suman, I agree. I mean, you have an Abhishek and a Travis Head and then an Ishan. and Punjab has a Priyansh and Prabh Simran who can take on these two fellows. Absolutely, you're right. Absolutely, you're right. And these are all young people, uninhibited, hitting, completely fearless. Tremendous to see the kind of talent that there is. Tremendous. Today's match prediction. Look, I somehow believe that Gujarat will get it right. I somehow believe. I have seen that it is Samir Rizvi who has kind of single handedly taken Delhi despite crisis, played an outstanding knock against Lucknow Super Giants after they were reduced to 26 for 4. I thought that Tristan Stubbs' elevation ahead of David Miller was a good call. Last match also, Samir Rizvi took to the attack after being two down. So I somehow believe that the Gujarat team will notice that they have a good enough side. They do have a chance. So I will say don't rule out Gujarat despite it being a Delhi home game. As far as tomorrow is concerned, it is a beleaguered, problematic KKR against a Lucknow Super Giants who have the confidence. They have a solid bowling attack, solid attack. Mohammad Shami, Prince Yadav, Mohsin Khan, Avesh Khan, Mayank Yadav, Digvesh Rathi. They have a genuinely good bowling attack. Shahbaz could be in the super sub list, impact player list, because he's a Bengal player at the Eden Gardens. So we have to wait and see. It will not be an easy game for KKR. Chances of rain, as I said, there is a chance of a thunder shower. We have to see what happens tomorrow, but one hopes that the match won't get washed out, even if there is rain. But there is chance of rain. There is chance of a proper squall or a nor'wester, and it could get impacted. The game could get impacted, is what I will say. That's all I have in this particular show. By the way, today the other big news is Li Shifeng, world number 7, being taken down by Ayush Shetty, and that was a brilliant win in the Badminton Asia. Sindhu also won her match. Laksha Sen unfortunately lost out in the Badminton Asia Championship. Again, the same issue as far as consistency is concerned. Sam says, may you, your management, and your company grow more. Thank you very much, Sam. Humbled. We will grow. When there is commitment, when there is resilience, when there is passion, when there is belief, when there is ethics, when there is honesty, there is no power in the world, Sam, that can stop you. No power. So if people come and troll me more, I will do the same thing 20 times over. So that's how I am. I've done a piece today about that as well. I care two flying Fs as far as these people are concerned. So I absolutely love to engage with you guys, and I'm deeply humbled when you say such things, and because we put in a hell of a lot of effort in doing this. Manishankar Mura Singh is a good Tom, is a good guy, is a good player from Tripura. But I don't think he's ready for national duty yet. But yeah, very decent all rounder. We need to focus on football. Yeah, five spots jumping up. That Hong Kong match was a good game. More of Ryan Williams, more of these players. We have to see. Update on chess. You are seeing every day Shobjani Chatterjee and Shomik writing on chess. Prague just fizzled away a tad in the candidates. I was a little disappointed yesterday losing to Anish again, and it's Sindarov. It's like a breeze so far for him. But on the women's side, Vaishali and Divya doing extremely well in the candidates, joint leading. Can we see something stand out there from our women? We have to see. Prague middle table, find it very difficult from here on, but we will keep you updated on all of this action. All of this action. Boria sir, I watched your videos with Michael Clark. Incredible knowledge. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, right? It is no shortcut. It is no shortcut, never has been and never will be. To follow all 28 sports with equal passion, to be able to do that, and I've spent hours and hours, and that's what is my, sport is passion, right? Sport is passion. I mean, to be able to read, follow sport, that's life for me. When I'm down, I follow sport. When I'm happy, I read sport. When I'm in a perfect frame of mind, I read sport. In Sri Lanka, I was on a family break. In the evenings, I would read when my daughter would do her own thing, and I would read my books, because that's what gives me the best joy, and I would read as much as I can. So that's what that's what it is all about. But as I said, I love engaging with you guys, love engaging with you guys, and that's why I do this show. Try and do this show as many days as possible. I think 6:30 is when Gargi Raut will join you from the Arun Jaitley Stadium. Ashok will be there, so they will do it from on ground. Gargi is there in Delhi on ground, and Ashok will host. So plenty of action coming up on Red Sports. Keep watching, keep following the space. There is football coverage, ISL with Rahul and Shomnath. Shomnath is traveling to Chennai, by the way, for the ISL, for the East Bengal game. So again, that's a commitment that stays. Every sport, as much as possible, people will go down and cover. So we will keep doing that, whether it is chess, whether it is badminton, whether it is athletics, whether it is football, whether it is cricket. We will try and do as much as we can. Thank you very much for watching.